So, good morning on this Palm Sunday, April 5, 2020. It is a remarkable time. It's an extraordinary time. And extraordinary times bring out extraordinary experiences, extraordinary qualities in us. And Viktor Frankl said, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. Between stimulus, what's happening around us, and response, there is a space. And I'm dedicating this hour here at Unity Center of Montreal to that space. We're going to start by singing our Creed of the Heart. So just wherever you are.
Our God is love, our race is human, our religion is oneness. That's the creed of the heart. Our God is love, our race is human, our religion is oneness. Amen.
So as you see, there are still some little things to work out in our attempts and our willingness to be technologically virtual. Again, I welcome you this morning here with us. Wherever you are, I am very heartened by your willingness to come along, be that you are tuning in this morning or that you are watching this later on YouTube. I will now bring in spirit, recognize spirit, call on spirit. We are now in the presence of pure being and immersed in the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom. I acknowledge thy presence and thy power, O blessed Spirit. In thy divine wisdom, now erase our mortal limitations, and from thy pure substance of love, bring into manifestation our world according to thy perfect law.
Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Ghost, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen. Amen.
We hope that you recognize in these musical interludes that Jason Ambosta recorded for me, you recognize a familiarity with your regular Sunday service here at the sanctuary. I have chosen now, since we do not have the lighting of the candles, to take this affirmation that we found. It is an old classic from the time of Catherine Ponder, and a affirmation that somehow speaks to us here at Unity in Montreal in this time of change and movement and challenge. Divine love is doing its perfect work here and now. Divine love is doing its perfect work here and now. Here, within our organization, but also within your life, right there where you are. Divine love harmonizes. Divine love adjusts. Divine love prospers. Divine love foresees everything and richly provides every good thing for this organization. Divine love is now victorious. I want to say, before we move into our meditation, I want to say something very briefly about Palm Sunday. This is Palm Sunday. It's a very mystical, very traditional, and way beyond our Christian tradition. It is a symbolic event. We are calling it in unity the Great Decision, where the individual is confronted with a great decision to either go on living bound by our incarnation, or to really choose to live daily from this acknowledgement that we are spiritual beings having earthly experiences. Palm Sunday is this symbolic decision. A great decision which you and I and everyone who chooses to conquer the illusion of separate existence apart from God, we decide now to enter this Palm Sunday, this 1 week before Easter, this beginning of the Holy Week, to hold that call to acknowledge that we're asked to make a big decision, a great decision. Thank God we have in unity a teaching, a study, not so much a religion, but a teaching that encourages you again and again and again and again to make that shift from where you are identified with which part of you, choosing to be identified with. So I want to invite you, since we have a lot happening here in this Sunday, we have our annual meeting at 12 o'clock, and everybody is invited via Zoom to be part of that experience. I am choosing now to take us into a meditation to reflect, a meditation to be challenged, a meditation to challenge ourselves. Can I acknowledge that I've been given an opportunity to make a decision? Not just some belief, not just some hope, but a decision. A decision that I'm a spiritual being having an earthly experience, and that I'm a spiritual being with all that comes with it. These abilities, the eternality, the being that goes beyond the skin, that goes into what Tolle would call the isness, the experience and the fullness of the isness that we step into when we step into the now. So I invite you to close your eyes, and most of all, to prepare your body. Make sure you're comfortable enough. You have your feet on the ground. You're sitting upright. You're letting go of anything that you're holding. You've turned off your cell phone, your television. And you come to your breath. A purposeful inhalation and a purposeful exhalation in that clarity that you are shaking off the dust of your shoes, your feet, for you're entering holy ground. Moses standing at the foot of the mountain, and God speaks to him those words, shake off the dust of your feet, for you're standing on holy ground. You, releasing, letting go the dust of your own shoes, the preoccupations, the worries, the fears, the obsessions that hold us spellbound about the events on the global scale, out in the world, and here in our own city, here in our own organization. We take off these concerns and we exhale, releasing those emotional states into the hand of life for just a while. Let this day be a beginning of Holy Week for yourself. Let it not pass without you engaging with it, being touched by it, being blessed by it, just because the other issues are taking up all of your thinking and feeling. So again, take another purposeful breath and exhale. I release and let you go. You are not part of this moment. I release you, the fear, the concern, into the hands of God. So that I might step onto holy ground. And the power and the mystery of holy ground. What does it mean to be welcomed, invited into stepping on holy ground? What does it mean to find my feet, my standing on holy ground? It's an absolute open-handed invitation. Welcome. But you must shake off the dust of your feet, the dust on your shoes, the preoccupation, the mind, the thoughts, the feelings, the hurts. What does it mean to step onto holy ground? To dare myself to step into this moment, the isness that is, that I really am. There is a very gentle pull emanating from the isness, from the holy ground. It's not maybe the right word to say a pull, but it's an open invitation. And as you step into it, you're stepping into a relationship or a conversation. For this spiritual being that you are is in a relationship with you. It's not something one-sided. And it's not something abstract. This isness, this I am, this what you're stepping into, is individualized you, spirit, God, you. And this is Holy Week. When better than now to embark on this rediscovery? I am individualized, spirit self, God self. My isness isn't just an abstraction. It has my DNA in it, my imprint, my memory, my life, my history, my journey. I am known by it. I stand transparent in front, in it, when I step into holy ground. All that I have been and all that I have experienced is known here, is loved and forgiven and uplifted here. and our teaching and our affirmations, when spoken from this place, carry with them the power to create, and the power to link with others like we did last night in the global convergence and meditation. Our linking, our creating a convergence becomes real. And when we say real, it has an energizing pulse. It has life. When you listen into it, you can hear the heartbeat of this emerging convergence of people linking up with themselves and with spirit, with each other around the globe, not just in a horizontal around the world, but also the vertical alliance and alignment. With the soul, the sun, the being, that radiates out what we need in order to create. We're not taking ourselves. We have only stepped on holy ground, and we become a channel. We become an agent and an instrument. And so it is, with grateful hearts, on this Palm Sunday, we close by singing our familiar Namaste.
Namaste, namaste. My heart sings namaste. The Christ in me beholds the Christ in you. Namaste, 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 namaste. My heart sings namaste. The Christ in me beholds the Christ in you. Namaste, 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 namaste.
And we extend the greeting of peace to one another who are in our lives, maybe in our living room right now, in our church, in our collaboration. I greet the Christ in you. From the Christ in me, I extend. And Amen. So before we close this rather short Sunday service, a couple of announcements. In about 20 minutes, we are going to open the Zoom room where people can join in. You have the link. Join us, and then we start at noon with our annual meeting. We got a couple of announcements that are of importance that we share with you. We keep it short. On Tuesday night, we have our Tolle study group at 6:30, again via Zoom, and you all have the link from previous Tuesday nights. So if you need the link again, I will send it out to remind ourselves on Tuesday morning. And then finally, I need to speak about your giving, the support this ministry now needs, since we do not have the opportunity to give on Sunday morning. I ask you to give, to find a way to send us maybe a check. We are working on our end to have PayPal and e-banking and all these various forms in place within this coming week. But we do need your love offerings to sustain us in the work that we do and maintain our beloved center. So now we are coming to our peace song, and I invite you to sing along. Let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment, peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, let it begin. So the light of God surrounds you, the love of God enfolds you, the power of God protects you, and the presence of God is with you wherever you are. God is, and all is well. Thank you for making the effort to tune in, to be with us in spirit and in your good thoughts. Amen.